Hey, good morning. Jeff Heggie, Daily Success Strategies. Thanks for being with me again today. I hope you've had a great week. What are the things that we talked about on Monday that you were accountable for, that you committed to, that you were going to achieve by Friday so that you could say it was a successful week and you were steps closer to achieving your bigger goals? So how did you do on them? Were you able to accomplish those things? Leave me some comments, some feedback. Let me know how it's gone and if it was a successful week for you. So all week we've been talking about persuasion and influence, negotiation, and things like that. Yesterday I had the opportunity, I was in a meeting and someone in that meeting shared a article with me that I thought would be great to talk about today because it's based on sales and presentations. It's an article from the Futur and it's by Matthew Encina called Take the Pressure Off Client Meetings. And I'll leave the link in my show notes so you can access the article. But he talks about the fact that we go into so many client meetings with so much pressure that that everything's on the line, that we've got to prepare and rehearse and do everything perfect so that we can go into the meeting and just rattle off our script and everything just flows perfectly. But often as a result, it ends up being very scripted. We have awkward meetings and a lot of times we'll leave feeling like maybe we blew it. But what he talks about in this article is what he's discovered is all that pressure that we put on ourselves is just us putting that pressure. You're the one putting the pressure on yourself, nobody else. And we're entering the meetings like we've got to sell this person, we've got to blow them away, we've got to convince them to work with us or buy from us, whatever it might be. But where he's found that he's had a lot more success is when he's changed his attitude to going into such meetings looking to serve rather than sell. And I remember when I first began working at the bank, that was one of the things they always used to talk about was selling is helping. And when you take the attitude of when you're trying to help a client, help a prospect more than sell them, and helping them takes priority over selling them, then you can really look at things different. And when he changed his approach, he says it really changed the pressure he was putting on himself. And he really started to look at every meeting as an opportunity that he could go in to help someone and be helpful rather than sell to them. He says, I'm not here to make a sale, I'm here to be helpful. I'm perfectly okay if we determine that it's not a good mutual fit. If I cannot genuinely help this prospect, I will walk away from the job. And taking that approach takes off all the pressure. It turns the presentation into a conversation rather than a sales pitch. And you can focus on the value that you can create rather than just trying to sell them the product or the service. He also says he has 3 golden questions. He says, what are your goals? What's getting in the way? And how can I help you? So as you're looking at opportunities to persuade and influence, and especially in a sales situation, take the pressure off yourself. That, oftentimes we go into a situation where we're in a position that we need this job, we need this client, but we put so much pressure on that, we end up blowing it. But if you go into it looking for the opportunities to serve and to help, you're going to have probably a lot better outcome because you're going to have a lot better conversation. You're going to create a higher level of trust and certainty with that client. He finishes off, he says, next time you go into a client meeting, take your sales agenda off the table. Don't lead the meeting with your service or product. Instead, focus the conversation on them and their needs. Change the lens to that of a helpful one and see how much that changes the outcome. So I think it is a great article, and I think it has a lot of good advice for helping you persuade and sell. And even outside of a sales conversation, working with your kids, if you look at ways that you can help them rather than demand things from them, what kind of outcome are you going to have? So hopefully that's helpful for you. It's a mindset shift. We talk a lot about mindset on here. If you haven't heard this week, I've been talking about my mindset journal. So go to mindsetjournal.jeffhagee.com and you can find out more about that. But otherwise, have a great weekend. We will be back Monday. If this is helpful for you, these episodes, I hope they've helped you this week on the topics of persuasion and negotiation and influence. But please go out and share it with someone. I'd really appreciate if you could do that for me. And we'll talk to you again Monday. See ya.